Good afternoon, people. Today's episode is gonna be a little bit different. This fragrance, it's gonna be very ballsy. It's gonna be very polarizing. Love it or hate it. More hate than love, I guess, and that's why I love this fragrance. This is a powerhouse sort of a fragrance, and I will tell you what I discovered from it. Um, I actually absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Even in the beginning, I tell you, I really fell in love with this fragrance from the first sniff that I gave. And I'll tell you my reason. I'll tell you how much it lasts. Basically, the fragrance is gonna be Yatagan by Caron. Caron Pour Homme or something. Caron Yatagan. Sorry, I get confused. There's Caron Pour Homme, few other fragrances. So this is basically Yatagan Caron. This is the more modern version. It used to be like released in back in 1978, even before I was born. But now it got reformulated because a lot of regulation. A lot of the ingredients cannot be used nowadays anymore because of you know reasons that there is regulation. But the fragrance, is it still good? Is it still in its glory? We'll see. So the fragrance, as I told you, is called Yatagan Caron, okay, by Caron, and it was released in 1978. I have few notes here, and I'll let you know what I really felt about this. I saw a couple of reviews, and I really felt one review was like really interesting the way he reviewed it. One of my favorite reviewers. I'll leave the link below. Check out his review on this one. And I decided to get a full bottle of this one after I smelled it and tested it on my skin. So I have it on my skin for some times now, and let me tell you one by one. This fragrance is a powerhouse. If you do not like powerhouse fragrances, if you do not like complex, mysterious, dark, and how to say ballsy fragrances, you perhaps will not understand it. But I'll tell you one thing: sometimes fragrances need a little bit more patience. A fragrance in the opening can scare you or gross you out. Excuse me. But as the time goes by, if you give it some wearing, like couple of wearings, like 5 6 wearings, what happens is the fragrance starts growing on you on the dry down. And when you go out there, you see the fragrance performs and get positive attention. It will change your mind at times. This is what happens with this kind of fragrances with me. So first fragrance I'll show you, which I really fell in love, and one of the most contrasting fragrance even till today. It's one of the most contrasting fragrance, polarizing fragrances. That is Kuros by YSL. Not every man can wear this. They don't have the balls to wear this because it takes real balls to wear this fragrance. It's very ballsy. It's very animalic. It's clean and dirty at the same time. So I'll tell you first thing before I tell you the notes. When I smelled it, I saw the reviews. This is the sample. Okay, for and another thing is, sorry, big thanks to brother Shuvo and brother Pantho. These two guys from Fragrancebd sent me a couple of like few samples as gift. This is one of them, and I did wear. As you can see, the juice came down from here to here. So basically, thanks to Fragrancebd for sponsoring the video, sort of as a gift, even though. But I can do from a sample. This will last me quite some time because you do not need so much of it. So anyway, Shuvo bhai and Pantho bhai, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your kind gesture. And this is gonna shock both of them because they send me a lot of other niche and expensive fragrances, but this is my favorite from the samples so far. And I will tell you why. So this juice color is pretty nice, pretty beautiful honey colored juice, and the bottle is really nice. I'll put the picture of both vintage and new one side by side. I found the presentation to be really nice. I don't know if it's a niche house or designer. I think it's niche perhaps, and the prices are not that expensive. You can get this for $70, which is pretty reasonable. So yeah, first time I sniffed it, most of the people out there are gonna be like, "What is this?" You're gonna have a shocking, like a revelation or shocking sort of a, how to say, discovery. Like, what is this shit? And they'll be like, "Hell no, I'm not wearing that. That fragrance is dated. Is F." But I'll tell you what, it didn't scare me because I have been using fragrances like Kuros, and this is gonna be very close to Antheas. If you like Antheas, if you like the Castoreum note, this actually it's pretty much close to the Caron one. And then other two I'll show you. I have a lot more. This is Van Cleef & Arpels Pour Homme, one of my favorite leather and animalic kind of fragrance, dark fragrance, and this is on the cheapies but awesome fragrance. This is Pour for men. This is very very cheap, but this fragrance also has that powerhouse sort of feel. And then I have tons more. Ted Lapidus, I have quite a lot of powerhouses. So yeah, first thing I want to tell you, this fragrance didn't scare me. I fell in love with it. I smelled it. I have it on my skin. Let me spray it once again, which is not a good idea, but I'll tell you the opening top note. And the sprayer is really nice on these. So this fragrance and the opening, it's crazy. It's like, you don't know what to say when you smell it. You'll be like either grossed out, or you smell it, you'll be like, oh my god, that smells skanky, and you might be like washing your hand in the first minute. I would request you not to do it. If you're not a fan of Powerhouse, it's okay. Do not try it even, it's okay. But you are eager to learn, you're eager to, discover something new. This kind of fragrances you have to try, because this is new dimension. It's a totally new dimension. Even though back in the time fragrance were done to like this sort of fashion, but now fragrances are more like sweet, citrusy, light, easy to love. These take like real challenge. You have to really take the challenge, see the complexity and the beauty of the fragrance. And I'll tell you, I respect everybody's nose. I'll tell you, it's okay if you hate it, no problem. But me loving it, it's just it came after 3 to 4 years of continuously trying different stuff. So that's why you have to always learn. You have to always try different things. Then something clicks with you. You don't know. So this fragrance opens up kind of like animalic, kind of like it's supposed to portray like Ottoman Empire, horses, you're taking a ride, and going out in the nature. You smell all the earthiness from the soil, like in cold weather. Basically like the ground, everything is like muddy, little bit like like soil is kind of like earthy, little bit moisture. It's coming from the nature. It's the smell is coming from deep down under. And that horses, I do not know, but I smell like it smells kind of like I'll tell you one fragrance. I think it was I don't know, this fragrance, everybody hates this fragrance. This is similar to that. I do not know how to say the name, but I'll tell you anyway. You can see in Fragrantica. What? It's like Etat Libra de Orange, I don't know how to say that. That fragrance, they say they have a smell of semen, blood, and it's most disgusting fragrance. Yes, this one, I can see the correlation, even though I didn't smell that one. But this one has the smell of a man, like it's something that it's like you can think of a Greek fighter or a Greek gladiator. No, Greek gladiator. Gladiators are not from Greece. What or are they? Just think of gladiators, the heavy sort of leather, like armors they would wear. You think of Gladiator, the movie itself. So you see how the sort of like swords, the attires, they're very manly, masculine. Lot of like whips and lashes with the horses. Like saddles. If you like those smells, if you like those sort of theme, this is gonna work for you. It has notes like castoreum, galbanum. As far as I can remember from top of my head, let me read it. I wrote it down. Why am I thinking? Castoreum, pine, woods like woodsy notes, oak moss, incense, musk, basil, mint, and galbanum. So these are the major players. So you see, there's no citrus mentioned. There's no fruity notes mentioned. So this is not like your Bleecker Street or Aventus. This is exactly polar opposite of that. So when you wear it, at first you'll be like, just if you do not like the top note, ignore it. Just ignore it, no problem. Do not bring your hand near you. Just go one spray. By the way, this is extremely potent. This is gonna last you forever. Just one bottle, 100 ml, you cannot finish. I suggest you get a smaller bottle or a couple of samples and give it a wearing. Longevity and projection, no question. It's beast mode fragrance. Okay, so is this fragrance wearable for women? I don't know. I think this is for mostly for men who love it, but I can kind of see women over 35. They wear it, they will be extremely sexy. I smell it on them, I would find them very sexy. Okay, this is a mature fragrance. Okay, I want to emphasize on this one. This is not a young man's fragrance, but you never know who likes what, right? This is for men with masculinity. You think of 90s era, 80s era, real men. You do not see them like all how to say, no hair on the chest, like all, what do you call it, in perfect shape. They look like Barbies. This is not a fragrance for them. It doesn't really bring me that image. It brings me those men, like those films with a lot of horses involved, a lot of warriors, like fighting scenes. There's a lot of blood, and the heritage. It's a culture and history. It has those layers. It has that complexity. So I think pretty much galbanum is in there. You can sniff it. it sort of like reminds me some of the Amouage fragrances. It has that feel. Uh, Also, that oak moss is not allowed anymore in the fragrance. I don't know, they still mention it, but what I really get is that castoreum. And I love Antaeus. This is Dark Lord. This is as dark as this, even though juice color looks maybe perhaps a little bit more honey and sweet. No sweetness, no citrus, no fruits. This is pure balls. So if you love Antaeus, you might like this. You might enjoy this. This fragrance, you sniff it, you sit somewhere and sit cross-legged and think of shit, like life and stuff. You enjoy this by yourself. This is a personal fragrance. This is something like a best friend that you take somewhere, enjoy the company. Absolutely, I get that woody like notes. If you live in the forest, you get a lot of this piney smell, a lot of this big trees, and the mossy smell that's coming from the nature. It's like kind of green. So this is very complex and multi-dimensional fragrance, and it takes time to understand it, but I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. This kind of fragrances do not get mentioned from any reviewers. I think Dan Norton, absolutely, the guy's gonna love this. Greggy Boy, I think he's gonna love this. Mark, he won't like it because this is not oud. Steven, perhaps no. I can see Dan Norton, little bit like guys of like 40 and above. This is their fragrance. This is a signature scent worthy kind of fragrance for masculine men, and absolutely can shower in this stuff. I don't care for people out there. You can see my enthusiasm, right? I showed you the same enthusiasm when I rocked Kuros, when I reviewed Kuros. That fragrance is very skanky, at the same time very clean. And whenever you enter somewhere wearing Kuros, 2-3 sprays, people notice you for good or bad reasons, and it shows that you are the boss, you are the man, you are the boss man. This fragrance will give you that feel. This is gonna give you that confidence. If you can wear this, you can wear this. If you do not know how to wear this fragrance is gonna wear you. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Definitely not a must blind buy worthy. Definitely not a blind buy worthy. This is the kind of fragrance I love the challenge. It's like you take. Let me tell you what it reminds me of. Think of Gone in 60 Seconds, Nicolas Cage, that film. Gone in 60 Seconds, he's having that thing with that car, and it was like a Shelby Mustang, right? A Ford Shelby Mustang, or the fragrance, not fragrance, the car is called what? Wait, I have to remember the name of the car. Yeah, it's called Eleanor. I love that name. I used that name as for a project in my university life. I got full 10 marks for creativity. So the thing is, that car, Eleanor, the Ford Mustang, Shelby Mustang, sorry, Ford Mustang, Shelby Mustang, whatever you call it, that car was always like a thing of fear for him. He likes it, he doesn't like it. Or think of American Muscle car, Vin Diesel used to drive, and he said his father died, that movie Fast and Furious. So it's kind of like relationship with those cars. They're beasts, but you do not know how they're gonna behave on extreme conditions or on the road when you need them to, really give you that support. So this is gonna be like a risky sort of adventure, and that's why I appreciate it. I salute it, and I think this fragrance, it's gonna be totally different from whatever I review on most parts. I love this. This is a 10 for me. This is a masterpiece of its own. I cannot emphasize it enough. Forget about the notes, forget about everything. Wear this fragrance, get a sample. Out of 10 people, if 2 people come up and say, Joy, I enjoyed it through and through, I would feel I was not wrong, right? Check out this fragrance. It's called Caron, by Yatagan by Caron. I'll put the link of the Fragrantica and other review that I mentioned. You perhaps might find it interesting, but people out there, this is one of the most polarizing fragrances. Must try, never must buy, or never blind buy rather. So there you go, the review. Thank you once again, Shuvo bhai and Pantho bhai, for this incredible juice and other samples as well. I'll review the remaining one in time. Everybody have a nice day. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.